Let's be completely honest here. The world out there is scary. There are a lot of unknown, unexplained things, not to mention things that make the hair on the back of your neck stand up. Things that rob you of your sleep. One can think there is only one place that is completely safe, that place being your own home. Such things are, however, unavoidable. What do you mean, you may ask? Well, allow me to share a personal story that happened some years back while I was living in Spain. One cold December night, coming back from an evening at the beach, I was heading back to my then girlfriend's apartment. Her family had gone to see the Christmas markets in Germany, so we had the apartment all to ourselves. We picked up some delicious Portuguese pasteles de nata, egg custard tarts that I really do recommend. Now that we had our food, it was time to go home and pick the movie. A scary movie would be quite fitting for the Christmas spirit in December, or so we thought. The door was locked, the lights were off, the window was halfway opened, and the plastic screen was in place so that the cat wouldn't jump out. It's time for a Japanese thriller. In the movie, a girl was explaining something about a cell phone being passed on that would cause certain death. It was an odd movie, to say the least, but it wasn't the only odd thing that night. The neighbors upstairs came back home. They were arguing about some family dinner mishap in a very Spanish way. The sound of a few things being thrown around came to an end when a big thud was heard on the roof. For a moment, we thought the worst had happened. But then we heard the sounds of reconciliation. Needless to say, the spooky movie night got somewhat ruined. I decided to get up and take a break from the couch and went to get something to drink. As I got close to the fridge, all around the room, I heard little sporadic sounds. Tick, 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 crack. A mix of burnt plastic with metal smells. Anna, I think your fridge is broken. She got up and rushed to see what was going on. Let me just pull this out and unplug it so it doesn't burn anymore, I said. You hear that? I think it's a short circuit or something. Even after the fridge was unplugged, still there it was. Tick, 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 crack. My parents are going to kill me, she said. You are not even supposed to be here. As a cold drop of sweat ran through my back, I told her to relax and go open the window to let some clean air in. Once she got next to the window, she called my name and said, "Look, what is this?" She pointed at the plastic screen for the cat and said, "Look, it's a hole." The hole was about the size of a coin. It looked as if it had been melted through. Now, there were no electronics around, and the fridge was roughly 2 meters or about 6 feet away from the window. Some minutes passed. The burnt smell of plastic was still present, even if a little bit. The sound, however, was no longer there. The fridge shows no signs of damage. I plugged it back in and it worked. We shared a sigh of relief, but we were left with questions. While we wondered what could have caused it, we even thought the cat might have had a part in this somehow, however ridiculous it may sound. But we found him in the corner where he likes to hide. He looked a bit startled, but we thought it was just because we moved around quickly and we were scared ourselves. Once we could breathe clean air again, we went to bed. The next morning was rather uneventful. We had some lunch, some dessert. I had to go back to my place and get ready to start the week. Her parents were unaware of the event, though I told her to let them know if anything similar ever happened. Nothing came out of it. Nothing ever happened again. We talked about it now and then, but nothing ever came out of it. Just the same question, over and over again. What was that crackling sound? I hope you guys liked this true story of mine. Now, I have to say that the name and specific location of where these events happened were altered to keep the privacy of those involved, especially since it was such a personal event. I'm planning on doing more stories like these, reading true stories from the internet, sometimes stories that I wrote myself, and yes, a few more personal, unexplained stories that happened to me. We shall see. Let me know down in the comments below your thoughts, your theories on what could have happened. Have you ever had something weird happen to you too? Would you like me to read your own story, true or true? I've been 118 Mayo. Like this video if you liked it, subscribe if you'd like to see more content similar to this one.